I don't know. It didn't feel super difficult to me this time, but there were some that were kind of.
I think there was like one or two that I guessed on. Other than that, it was like all in the book.
Yeah. All right. So number 1, this one I had a hard time finding in the book, but I think I got the correct answer, but I don't know. So.
I knew it was variable, but I didn't know if the aggregate expenditures model was variable or not.
Aggregate expenditure model is not. So that's why I put variable unlike the aggregate expenditure model. Because I'm like, it doesn't specifically say whether it's variable or not, but the prices are changing, so I would assume it's variable prices.
Right. Number 2, I got inverse relationship between the price level and the quantity of real GDP purchased.
Yep, I got that as well, and that was directly from the book. And this one I did end up finding in the book. It took me a while, but I put number 1, aggregate demand curve is downsloping.
Wasn't it in that little box that was like above a graph or something? That was like not really in the main text. Was that this one or was it another one?
I don't remember if that was this one or another one.
I remember it just being like in a super discrete place. And I was like, okay.
I remember how I found this one. I ended up searching for real balances and in the search box, and then it came up. This one is weird because it's like right above the origin of ideas on the aggregate demand, so it's separated from the actual 3 answers. Those 3. Yeah, but this one, it says, if the conventional substitution and income effects do not explain the downward slope of the aggregate demand curve, what does? The explanation rests on 3 effects of price level change, and then that's where it breaks it out. Real balance effect, interest effect, and foreign purchase effect. All right, and what did you guys get for 4? It's one of those fun graph questions.
Graphs I feel like aren't actually hard to interpret, unless I did them wrong.
No, these ones were way easier than they were in microeconomics, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So, isn't that one that, to me, looks like it's increasing.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. And you're moving from, so basically you're moving from B to D.
So it's 600 to 800.
Yeah, so you're moving, if you follow B all the way down to the real GDP, that's 600, and then D is 800, so you're going from 600 GDP to 800, so you're increasing by 200 billion.
Number 5, I got price level and the production of real domestic output.
Yep, that's what I got as well.
I'm sorry, which one did you say, Jenny?
The second one.
Oh, okay.
Price level and the production of real domestic output.
So...
This one threw me at first, but then I found it.
Yeah, this one, so the slope of the immediate short run, so that was very easy. You have to look at the actual individual. So in immediate short run, nothing changes. Everything's fixed. So immediate short run, that would be both input and output are fixed.
Right.
But yeah, see, that threw me too because I was thinking slope, but then it said is based on the assumption. So it's the assumption that it's fixed. So that's
So you did the first one, right? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. Both input and output prices are fixed.
For some reason, I had that one, and then I switched it to the last one. So I wonder.
So we're talking immediate short run.
That might be why I might have just done short run, not immediate.
Yeah, because short run input prices are fixed, but output prices are flexible, and that's in the short run, not the immediate.
Okay.
I felt like I comprehended everything a lot better this week than I have the last few weeks. So.
I'm nervous for the exams, actually.
This is mine.
Yeah. Have you started preparing for the exam yet?
I want to say yes, but I would be lying.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. That's
Yeah, I just.
on my to-do list for sure, though.
Number 7, I got the second one. Wages and other resource prices do respond to price level changes.
That's what I put as well.
Hey guys, I'm gonna step away for just a minute, grab my baby, okay? Okay. Okay.
I have only a few more weeks till I have that to look forward to. So. Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, our first is due on Easter, so we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Aw.
Well, this is number 5, so if you'd like some practice.
Number 8, I got vertical.
Yep, that one is vertical.
That's what I was thinking on that one.
Yeah, because your immediate short run is horizontal because nothing changes, everything fixed, and then because your because your long run, everything is flexible, everything can move. It will always end up completely vertical. So.
Okay, here we go.
Short run version. See, and then this was what you were talking about, Jenny. This is the short run version of aggregate supply assumes that flexible that product prices are flexible while resource prices are fixed.
Okay, I got them switched then. Because that's when I put both input and product prices are flexible. Okay.
Yes.
So this one's the second one?
Yeah, the second one. Because in your short run, your inputs, or that's your so your inputs or your resources are fixed, but your output or your product prices are flexible. So those can change in the short run, but your input will be fixed, and mostly that's because of contracts. Do you remember where it talked about that? So like employment contracts usually will last for 3 to 5 years, so you're fixed on your employment costs while those contracts are in place.
Oh, gotcha. So you said for number 9, then it's the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Do this. Don't doubt.
I think 10 was one I made an educated guess on. I put the first one.
That's what I came up with as well. Yeah, because an increase in personal taxes will cause the demand curve to decrease or shift to the left because your overall income will decrease.
Right. People won't want to buy as much stuff. That was my argument. That's how I came up with it. Okay.
And this one I put number 2, increase or shift right in aggregate demand now.
That's what I did.
That was the anticipation or the expectation or yeah, the expected. So if they're looking at it and they think that it's going to go up, they're going to buy more right now.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I did. $12 I wasn't sure on, so I won't say my answer on that.
So 12. This one I originally was thinking because if the national incomes
Here we go.
of our trading partners increase, then our demand would also increase because our exports would go up, our net exports. So that's, I was going to put aggregate demand increases because C decreases, but that's not correct. It's because net exports increase.
So it's the last one?
Yes.
Well, I had the second one. Still wrong, but
It was close, yeah, and that's the big thing because it's not our consumption that increases, it's the export
right, it's that
consumption.
theirs does.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
where, because C is our consumption in the United States, where net exports is what other people consume in other nations that we send them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And this one I made an educated guess on, but I'm pretty sure it's correct.
I did. Oh wait. I did the supply curve rightward.
Yep.
See, and I was
Because
gonna
it's
say that's the one.
inputs, not outputs. I was looking at my stack for a second.
Yeah, so a fall in price input, so that's basically your employment, what like natural resources. If those prices drop, then then those producing the product are going to be willing to produce more because it costs them less to produce it. So therefore, the supply would increase or shift to the right. And this stuff I'm like more right at home with because it goes right along similar with microeconomics, which I did last semester. So
14. I put the third one. I don't know if that's right.
No, see, that would have been my educated guess there.
yeah, and this is where I was not sure because I put increase aggregate supply, but I don't know if that would increase demand or if it would just increase supply. I mean, that's where I don't know, and that's why this is one that I wasn't sure about.
Increasing productivity, well. It might just be supply. I was kind of thinking of the relationship between supply and demand, kind of.
Okay,
But I
so
don't know. We can look.
Yeah, let me just look here real quick. Okay, so it says the second major determinant of aggregate supply is productivity, which is a measure of the relationship between a nation's level of real output and the amount of resources used to produce that output.
No.
So to me it looks, based on what I'm seeing here, that's when I searched it, that's the only really section that came from our the readings from this week.
Which one do you think it is then? Sorry.
Give me just a second.
Mace, are you about done? Mace, you about done? Can you come help me here?
Okay.
Like,
So it says, and this is that part under aggregate supply where it's talking about how to calculate the productivity. It says now suppose productivity increases so that real output doubles to 20 units while the price and quantity of output remain constant at $2.05 units. Using the above equation, we see the productivity rises from 2 to 4 and the production costs output falls from 1 to 50 cents. So I would say it would just be supply, not demand. Just based on, because in my mind, I was thinking that it would, because if they can make it cheaper, then maybe the price would come down. But it sounds like
Sorry.
in this regard, the price is going to stay the same.
They're not coming.
Oh my god.
Are we in 15 now?
The change in productivity is a determinant of aggregate supply, but it doesn't look like that is a determinant of aggregate demand.
Okay.
So I would say just supply on that one.
Oh, okay.
15, right at the last one.
Yes. Yeah, because you're going to, let me make sure. So if you're shifting from 1 to 2 on your demand, it's going to shift up the supply curve. So you're going to move from 1 to 2 on the quantity, but you're also going to move from 1 to 2 on the price. So it is the last one on that one.
If he starts crying, take him out so that I can hear this. Where's the banquet tickets? So this one is 16, is that the third one?
Yep, that's what I got.
The third one, yep. So were you guys, either of you, or any of you guys confused with the multiplier going down and all of that? That part was like super confusing. I think I finally figured all that out, but so when you shift down, so they're saying that prices are sticky going down, so you're like that whole, it was in that last section. So I found that part kind of confusing, but luckily this one's going up, not down, so I didn't have to think about that. And this one, did you look this one up in the book, Jenny? Because in the book I found it, but it seemed like kind of contradictory to all these answers.
I didn't know what to do from out of the book, so I googled disinflation. And it said that it's when the inflation decreases. So I put the third one.
Yeah, because in the book, let me go to that part in the book because it was like super confusing. Because it said,
Why don't you put your mom and dad room? Later. Just go lay, take the phone, lay down in our bed, and take a bottle, make them one.
I'm trying to find it in the book real quick.
I'm still watching.
Okay, here it is. So it says the price level fell in some months and the rate of inflation declined, meaning that disinflation occurred. So it's kind of confusing because it said that inflation and prices both went down. It said, yeah, here it says the price levels fell in some months and the rate of inflation declined, meaning that disinflation occurred. But, so that's kind of confusing because it doesn't really give you that option.
Right.
Unless it's just saying that inflation fell. I mean, maybe that's the part they're trying to point out is inflation declined, meaning that disinflation occurred. So if that's what you found.
The only one that says the inflation falls.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the third one on that one.
Well, when your inflation falls, your price.
So yeah, your price doesn't always fall. In fact, they were saying almost never, and that may have been why they highlighted that specific case, because your prices are sticky, so they almost never go down. But during the recession in 2007 to 2009, prices did actually go down, which was completely rare. It happened 2 times in economic history. Since the 1950s, we've only had price go down twice. So, I mean, in that case, I guess that does make the most sense that the rate of inflation falls, but prices do not. And then on 18, the only one that made sense to me was the last one.
So I was confused when the book talked about menu costs. Was menu costs when they decide to lower their prices or when they decide not to?
They don't lower their prices because of the costs involved in creating new menus, changing prices, marketing those new prices, and all of that.
I was just so confused by, maybe I was just overthinking it. Anyway, but yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, so they were saying that that's one of the reasons that it makes prices inflexible downward, because people aren't usually willing to take on the price of changing their menu, so to speak.
Right. 19, I put the second one.
Yep, that's what I put as well. And number 20, I put the second one, 206,000.
That's what I put.
Yep.
All right, are we ready to submit and see how we did?
Think so. $95. We missed one. And it was number 7. Ah. That wasn't one we were even debating either.
Wait, wages, other resource prices.
What would sell for the short run aggregates like?
Oh, I think we read that wrong because we missed the do not. So wages and other prices do not respond. So they stay the same. So I think that's what I was thinking that one said. That's why I clicked that one.
Way to go.
Oh,
95's not bad.
yeah. That one word will get you every time. Alrighty.
Okay, cool.
Okay, awesome.
All right. And I'm going to be taking the exam on Monday. Since we have till Monday again this time, I'm going to be taking it Monday.
Yeah.
So I'll probably start reviewing this weekend. So if anybody comes up with any questions that they don't understand, we can always just email it out to each other and see if anybody can help out. So.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
sounds good.
All right, and I'll go ahead and submit our group video, and we'll be good.
Hey, thanks for doing that every week.
Yeah, not a problem. It's super simple. So.
Okay,
Okay.
you guys have a good night.
Alrighty, have a good night.
See ya.
Okay, bye.